Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we've got some bad news. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. So we got a little bonus video today. Unfortunately, it's not for a good reason. Today, pre-orders go live, and it's a massive event for the new Adeptus Custodes Battleforce, as well as the Ork Stompa Boyz Battleforce. And over the last couple of hours, really like days even, I've been getting an absolute flood of messages, and people are not happy. The Battleforces Games Workshop produces are some of the best deals you can ever get. As a matter of fact, we did a breakdown of that value and savings in these Battleforces in a video just a couple of days ago. Lots of excitement behind these as the Adeptus Custodes Codex, cards, dice, and combat patrol all go live. And then to go along with them is a Battleforce, which is an absolutely amazing deal. And the same thing for the Orks as well. New Ork Codex, Datacards, dice, combat patrol, and then of course the Battleforce also. And both of these are massive deals, massive savings, and it would appear that Games Workshop has dropped the ball big time. Now, I'm not much for conspiracy theories, so I don't really know exactly what's going on here. Hopefully we'll get some kind of news in the future. Maybe this is just some kind of mix-up or mistake on their part, but it appears that Games Workshop has massively underproduced these Battleforces. Now, they know obviously that these are some of their best sellers, some of their best deals, and just how excited people get for these. So there's not really much of an excuse for just how limited these things have become. So right now I'm on the Japanese store and you can see that the Battleforce boxes are completely sold out. And now I went ahead and just jumped over to the UK store. And again, we can see that these Battleforce boxes once again sold out, which honestly wouldn't normally surprise me. These things are super popular and they are massive savings. So I totally get why they would sell out and sell out pretty quickly. But last week was the arrival of the new Kill Team Nightmare set. And again, that thing sold out in literally seconds, but there was a queue to wait in line for it. Today, for this release, Games Workshop did not have the queue system in place. And not only that, but the really strange thing is, a few months back, Games Workshop implemented their new system. And the idea behind the system is basically a 2-week pre-order period. And then the stores have to let Games Workshop know exactly how many of something they want in advance. They put in their order, Games Workshop contacts them back in the next couple of days and then says exactly how many they can get. And the whole idea of this is to just make sure that they put the right amount of stuff in the right place, make sure that everybody gets enough. Well, for whatever reason, Games Workshop took everybody's orders, pretended like everything was all good, and then the last minute contacted all of the stores and massively restricted the amount of box sets that they could get. So a lot of these stores thought they were getting multiples of these box sets, and then suddenly Games Workshop told them that they only had a couple. So in many cases, people have sold these on pre-order after Games Workshop confirmed how many they were going to be getting. And now they have to come back and tell those customers that unfortunately, they're not going to be able to get the box set that they already sold them or promised them. So not only is this a terrible way to be doing business, but they've also already implemented all of these systems, the 2-week pre-order period, submitting your order directly through Games Workshop in advance, Games Workshop confirming the amount of product that you're going to be able to get. All of these systems that Games Workshop put in place themselves are designed specifically to make sure that situations like this don't happen. So I don't know exactly what went on behind the scenes at Games Workshop. I'm not sure what the actual issue is with manufacturing or production, or if there's some greater conspiracy theory behind it. But the fact of the matter is, this is completely scuffed. So if you're after the new Big Mac, if you're after the new Custodes character, if you're just trying to get a deal on a bunch of Orks or Custodes, there's a very high likelihood that you're about to be extremely disappointed. And the weird thing is, it's not like Games Workshop would underproduce these knowing that people want them, unless one of two things. They're either intentionally not trying to make a bunch of them because they're just such a good deal, they don't want people to save money, they'd rather have you pay full price for the stuff inside. Something went wrong behind the scenes and they were unable to produce these things, unable to get them to the retailers in time. Or at the last minute, they decided in a big money grab that rather than shipping a bunch of them out to all the individual retailers, they would ship an extremely limited number, in many cases, 2 or 3, create massive amounts of FOMO in the community, and then drive all the sales directly to their web store where people would buy them at full price. Now, I'm not much for conspiracy theories, but oftentimes they do turn out to be true, so I'm not sure if that's the case. But the fact of the matter is, this situation is completely effed up. Tons of people that were expecting to get these box sets are not going to be able to get them. Tons of people that were excited for these brand new exclusive characters are not going to be able to get them. Now, I'm sure at some point in time in the next couple of months, Games Workshop will debut the actual characters on their own and you'll be able to get them again. But under very, very rare circumstances has Games Workshop ever reproduced one of their Battleforce box sets after the initial launch. So now I went ahead and jumped over to the EU web store, and as you can see, once again, the box sets are already sold out. So what went wrong exactly? Why am I getting flooded with angry people, disappointed people? And how did what should be an awesome situation like the launch of Adeptus Custodes and Orks, some of the most popular factions, suddenly turn into a bad thing? I have no idea, and hopefully we'll find out sometime in the near future, and I'll keep you guys up to date on that. And it's too late for pretty much everybody at this point in time, with the exception of my American friends. So hopefully this video finds you before the actual launch, before the pre-orders go live at 1 p.m. today, EST, and you had the opportunity to grab one of these up. Now, obviously, without a queue system in place, depending on how busy the web store is, it's going to be first come, first serve. But this is a massive fail, in my opinion, on Games Workshop's part. They either completely scuffed the launch of two of their biggest factions and completely effed a bunch of people who are excited for these boxes, not to mention all of the stores that are going to lose out on massive amounts of revenue, many of which rely on these big launches and Games Workshop actually providing an adequate supply for them. Not only the systems that they've themselves put in place, like the 2-week pre-order period, and then submitting their orders in advance, and Games Workshop's verification of the quantity that they'll be able to get and availability. So it's an absolutely crazy situation where Games Workshop has basically turned what should be a massive and awesome, exciting launch event into a complete failure. The amount of disenfranchised stores and fans, especially after all the buildup over months of Games Workshop announcing these box sets and getting everyone excited for them, only to basically not have any available for their customers, is completely effed. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now back to the video. So I just wanted to bring this to you in advance with hopes that some people in the US will see this and be able to grab one of these boxes from the store if they wanted it, or at least know that if they've already purchased one from their friendly local game store, there's a good possibility they're not going to be able to get that box, as Games Workshop has essentially massively restricted the amount of box sets that are available, even after confirming to stores that they're going to get a certain number of copies. So that being said, if you're after one of these box sets or the limited codexes, they are literally sold out everywhere around the world. So make sure you are ready to go at 1 p.m. EST in Games Workshop's web store. Now, normally I wouldn't want to direct people directly to the actual web store, but obviously with the special edition codexes, that's the only way to get a hold of them. And then also with these limited box sets, whether it's a mistake or whether it's directly malice, this situation is completely effed, and there's a very good chance that we're not going to be able to get a hold of them. So let me know if you're from somewhere else in the world and you've experienced this situation, or if you're a shop owner, a disenfranchised customer that's going through this, or if this is the first you're hearing of it and you're able to grab one of these box sets. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments, and thank you to everyone that reached out to me and give me a heads up on this in advance. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I hope this helps somebody get a hold of one, but this situation is completely effed up. And I'm out of here.